I don't know if you guys have had this problem with these vans, these G20s, but my temp gauge, well, for some reason it's moved now, but the temp gauge went out. So, and it was the gauge itself, it wasn't the sensor. I had the sensor replaced and didn't do nothing. So, I put in this aftermarket gauge. But I had that put in, and then since the sensor was taken out, it could not really start easily at low idle. Or not at low idle, when it's cold out. So if the engine was cold, the van could not choke itself. It couldn't choke itself, and it did not have high idle. So basically it was kind of starving itself of fuel and everything if it was cold out, and you had to sit here and basically just do that constantly just to keep it running, because the RPMs would just like drop, go back up, drop, go back up. So my little brain decided to come up with this idea because I could not find anything on YouTube on how to fix this problem if you have an aftermarket gauge in one of the early 90s Chevy vans. So I'll show you what I did to fix this. So the temp gauge usually goes right there, but that little black wire right there is the new aftermarket gauge that goes up in there, and the brown and blue wire are tapped into the original wiring harness. Ran wires from over there all the way through here and down through the firewall, and got rid of the connector for the plug. I ran it to this little guy. So now that off is for regular idle, and then when you flip it on, it kicks it on to the high idle to where you can start it in the cold and it will actually warm up. So in a way, I kind of created my own high idle switch, even though it's just compensating for the lack of the sensor telling the computer what to do. That was my workaround for the problem of the van not wanting to start when it's cold, because I put in a gauge. So I really hope this helps you guys. I couldn't find anything out there, so good luck to you, and be careful if you do this. Be very careful splicing the harness. The wires are only like this long and there's not much room to work with. So if you do it, be sure that you crimp them, because I got the little shrink wrap crimpers on it. Be sure you do it right the first time, because there's not many chances that you have to re-splice them. So just keep that in mind if you do this. You could also jerry rig a plug, I'm sure of it, make it a little bit easier, but that's how I did it, and it is working phenomenal. So thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Okay, this is with the high idle switch off. Okay, I'm going to flip it on now. And now I'm going to flip it back off.